A set of numbers is finite if it contains only a limited number of elements. A set of numbers is infinite if it has endlessly many elements. An interval is a set of numbers between two endpoints on a number line. A closed interval includes its endpoints. An open interval does not include its endpoints. A ratio is in simplest form when the compared numbers have no common factor greater than 1. A proportion is a statement that two ratios represent the same comparison. A unit rate is a rate that tells the amount for 1 unit of something. A scale is a fixed ratio used to relate a drawing or map to the real object. A base 10 number system is a place value system where each place is 10 times the place to its right. A unit digit is the digit in the ones place of a whole number. A tens digit is the digit in the tens place of a whole number. A hundreds digit is the digit in the hundreds place of a whole number. A thousand is a unit equal to 1,000 ones. A unit fraction represents one equal part of a whole. A proper fraction is a fraction with a value less than 1. A mixed number represents a whole number together with an additional fractional part. A decimal point is a symbol that separates the ones place from smaller place values. A percent is a way to express a ratio using 100 as the reference whole. A proportion problem is a situation where two quantities change in a linked way. A net is a flat arrangement of faces that can be folded to form a solid. A face of a solid is a flat surface on the outside of the solid. An edge is a line segment where two faces of a solid meet. A vertex of a solid is a point where edges meet. A cube is a solid with 6 congruent square faces. A rectangular prism is a solid whose faces are rectangles. A prism is a solid with 2 congruent, parallel faces called bases. A pyramid is a solid with one base and faces that meet at a single point. A circle's radius is the distance from the center to the circle. A diameter is a segment across a circle through the center. A chord is any segment whose endpoints lie on a circle. A central angle is an angle whose vertex is at the center of a circle. An inscribed angle is an angle whose vertex is on the circle. Parallel lines are lines in the same plane that do not intersect. Perpendicular lines are lines that meet to form a right angle. A transversal is a line that crosses two or more lines. Corresponding angles are angles in matching positions formed by a transversal. Alternate interior angles are angles between two lines on opposite sides of a transversal. A polygon is convex if every interior angle points outward and no part caves in. A polygon is concave if it has at least one interior angle that caves inward. A regular polygon is a polygon with all sides and all angles equal. A diagonal of a polygon connects two vertices that are not next to each other. A median of a triangle connects a vertex to the midpoint of the opposite side. An altitude of a triangle is a segment from a vertex perpendicular to the opposite side. A centroid is the point where the medians of a triangle meet. A bisector divides something into two equal parts. An angle bisector divides an angle into two equal angles. A midpoint is the point that divides a segment into two equal lengths. Data are values collected from observations or measurements. A frequency table organizes data by listing values and how often they occur. A bar graph uses separate bars to compare categories. A histogram groups numerical data into intervals and shows their frequencies. A line graph shows how a quantity changes as another quantity changes. A pie chart shows how a whole is divided into parts. The median is the middle value when the data are put in order. The mode is the value that occurs most often in a data set. The mean is a representative value that describes the center of a set of data. An outlier is a value that is unusually far from the rest of the data. Probability describes how likely an event is to occur. A random event is one whose outcome cannot be predicted with certainty in advance.